tweets all day, and I'm like, all right, welcome to All Burning Goal Everything. You're listening to it, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM, 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. I'm George. Glen is going to be with us in a little bit. Wole is out, and we are, as always, very happy and lucky to have with us Bowie TV's Washington Commanders reporter, Candi Waller, joining us today. Candi, good evening. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. It's been a long day, and I know everybody's upset. It shouldn't be. All is not lost, everybody. Let me say that.
Yes, all is not lost. That's right. So let's dive into let's do our particulars and logistics real quick before we get started. First, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and all your other fine podcast platforms. Just search All Burning Goal Errrything, 3 R's. Hit us up on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ABG underscore Errrything, 3 R's. Also, like our All Burning Goal and Errrything Facebook page. And don't forget to subscribe to the All Burning Goal Errrything YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the show, and they will be prioritized over all the other comments. Thank you for joining us, and this is what we're going to do. Candi Waller's here. Today was the big joint practice, the last real good preparation for the main players for Washington that they were going to get this preseason. Candi was out there, I think, in Owings Mills, Maryland. Is that where it is in Owings Mills?
Yep.
She was out there covering it for us. She's going to give us all the ins and outs. She's going to give us the tea. And I've been looking forward to this all day. So that's what we're doing. And we're just going to get right out. Everybody's seen the thumbnail. A lot of people have read your tweets. What happened with this offensive line today? Because that was the big story coming out of this practice.
I think that, in which we kind of already knew. I've seen some of the comments, and I think one of the things that Paul said was that we should not have been surprised, and I agree. We have to take into consideration the opponent, and but they're the Baltimore Ravens, okay, and that's it, and that's all. And they got starters. Most of their starters, they got some people out, but not like the Commanders. But it's the offense, like that's first and foremost. Okay. The opponent matters. The players matter for sure. From an offensive line perspective, I think it's just we know that there needs to be a center, a good, healthy center. And that is not what the Washington Commanders have at this time. Okay. This is something that I've been talking about for a very long time now. And with the Nick Allegretti injury, it just became even more illuminated, right? Were even such that the Ravens reporters were even reporting like, man, Jayden Daniels looks great, but this offensive line, oh my goodness, like he can't do anything. He can't do anything but behind this offensive line. And so we know Laramie Tunsil is out. One of the things that we said, this offensive line is starting to look like an offensive line that just lost their best player. Then, yeah, we know the center situation. And Sam Cosmi was out today with an illness. Okay. So there were 3 starters down on offensive line today. Now, I'm not sure if everyone knew about Sam Cosmi not being there, but Sam Cosmi did not practice today. He was out with an illness. That context matters. That context matters because it matters. It matters.
No, it does. It does.
And so and nobody has to say sorry to me. I've been said what I know what the positions say, but I have not advocated for any of these individuals. If you noticed, So I think it's just reality.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Jayden was able to make some things happen, there were some drops today.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Chig, some things, with Chig and with Chig and Stefon and Terry and Antonio. You saw drops when things did work. And I'm like, I don't even know how he's getting out of these jams. There were drops.
That's what he's been doing. That's what he
And
did in 24.
so
He was Harry Houdini at times.
right. And so I just think that but they were able to recover. That wasn't every play, but 100% there were drops. So I'm going to focus on what happened in team drills, because one-on-ones are great, and we post one-on-ones and they're great and they're fantastic. They get a lot of views, they get a lot of commentary and all of that. I would hate for, out of all the moves that the team has made to get better, it be overshadowed because of the issues on offensive line. That wouldn't be fair, because Jayden that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. But Jayden is having an incredible camp. He is. And they have made update. They have done things to get better. They have done things to get better, in terms of the moves they've made with players. And I do believe that the team is better. But if we haven't learned or seen nothing else, again, I know I've been talking about it. The fans who have come to practices have been talking about it. Now, when you watch preseason games, the broader base can see it. Now you have another organization and their reporters who have seen it. The offensive line is a problem, and it will get all of the attention because you can't, it's so much that can't happen if that offensive line is down.
I want to go back on the center thing real quick, and I'm going to put up two different comments because I think it represents both sides of the story here. Mm-hmm. This one from Timothy saying Gulbin isn't an NFL center, and in this one from Street Camo saying throw Gulbin to the Wolves, let him start week 1. Did this team waste a lot of time with Julian Good-Jones and waste a lot of reps on him that should have went to Gulbin that might have helped better prepare him for this particular situation? Or does it really not matter? It was just going to be a mess one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's troubling because it was a self-inflicted wound.
Yes.
That's what's troubling to it. We're not saying, I've never said don't release Tyler Biadasz. I'm saying you shouldn't have done it when you did. Mm-hmm. Why are you dealing with this in February? Mm-hmm. When you don't have to. And so it's just not made sense. And for it to start going down, in the manner that it is. And like I said last night on the show, and I see the comment here from DC Slim about Baltimore had a bad offensive line, but let's be clear. Their starting center went down in joint practice against Minnesota last week with the knee injury, season-ending knee injury. But their 2 backups are centers.
and since you pointed that out, I've seen people talking about trading for a center. I just don't think that's. I think most teams aren't going to trade their depth at center because they know how difficult it is to develop depth at that position. And I just don't see it. And again, I think it will take a draft pick, not a player. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I'm done with this trade and draft pick stuff because I think that's part of the reason we're in this fix that we're in. But I've made that point before. I want to put this super chat up and thank Thomas Carter 2289. Thank you so much. He says, before I heard anything about how bad practice was, I saw the Jayden Daniels interview, and he said, all I can do is work with who they give me to play with and control what I control. I heard Jayden Daniels' press conference was brilliant today. I have not seen it, but I heard that he just was absolutely on point. And again, showing that that high IQ football player that he's been since he's shown up here.
Yes, 100%. This just goes back to what I've been saying. Like, Jayden is having an amazing camp. Yes, Matt G is a rookie, and he was brought in and drafted to basically be a developmental player. He wasn't even supposed to get any burn really this year, and yet here we are. But he's doing everything that anybody could have imagined him doing. He can't do anything more right with this situation. You know what I mean? It's just not it's apparent that it's not, you can't, they got to do something. And they got some time. They have some time. Roster cuts and all the things. But let's go back to, they were having trouble with their own defense.
Yeah, it's true.
They were having trouble with their own defense. The clues have all been there. They were having trouble with their own defense, right? The Dolphins joint practice was up and down, as I've shared. It's been up and down, right? Everyone saw what happened in the Detroit game, and everybody's like, well, Jayden only played 3 snaps. Well, why? A series doesn't have to equal 3 snaps unless you launch it and you get a touchdown. You know what I mean? Why was it only 3 snaps? But I just they've made a lot of good changes. I would hate to see a self-inflicted problem be the reason why they weren't successful, especially when you're already dealing with quite a bit of injuries.
And that was the other conversation we had the other question I asked the other night. I don't understand how they could. I was going off the question that was asked in yesterday's presser about they were in such crazy shape, as the guy said. And then here we are. That was at the start of camp. And then here we are late at the end of camp. We're the walking wounded. I'm not sure how that can happen. And I just...
it's something to be investigated. I mean, I really love the point that Wole made last night about just, is it too much? Is it too much? Are they doing too much? You got to think about a person like a Dan Campbell with the Detroit Lions that decided not to have joint practices or do joint practices this year, probably because he's traumatized from all of the injuries they've had in the past.
That's true.
It's something there. Because there's a lot of injuries.
Well, and I'll ask this question. Well, this is probably, no, you know what? My view is, when we had 4 preseason games and you could spread the workout, it wasn't as bad as this. That could be totally anecdotal and incorrect, but it feels like you had more time, you had more practices, you could spread the workout. You didn't, it feels like everything is compressed when you only have 3 games.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what happened. It's not good, and the depth pieces are not there, and it's especially challenging because this might be a bit simplistic for me, but it becomes why don't you just go and get guys that are actual centers?
Well,
like, maybe that approach isn't working. I understand versatility. Trust me, I do. But like, maybe you should get guys that they can play other roles. That's great. But their primary role is that of a center, because there are centers available. And so this is something else that I've been thinking about, because we've seen them make moves other places. We've seen them make moves, you all. They have made other moves in other position groups.
Mm-hmm.
They have. And so, okay. So I'm like, why is it this position group this much of a challenge right now?
And to your point about versatility, there was a series of years where they kept drafting tackles and moving them to guard, and that was starting to grate. That was grating on my nerves because it's like, well, at some point you need to draft an actual left tackle. So I'm preaching from this. I'm singing from the same hymn sheet as you, Slim. Slim says that we're a little scared to say his team is prepared and consistently inconsistent. I don't think we're scared to say that at all, Slim. I think that's what we're kind of building up to. I think the one thing we don't want to do is damn this team before a game has been played, because for all the worries that I think we rightly have right now, if they go out and win September 13th in Philadelphia, it doesn't all go away, but it changes the narrative completely. And we can't rule. I mean, even if I'm not seeing it right now, there isn't any. I mean, they've got Jayden Daniels, so they've got a chance. But you're right, Slim. The preparation, it's better than last year, but is it better enough? I don't think it is right now.
I mean, someone asked me when I was on, shout out to Louis T when I was on Louis T show, and it's like he asked about, like, can you scheme it up based on the talent that you have? And I'm like, well, it depends on where you want to be when you grow up. Like, are you trying to go to the Super Bowl or not? If you're trying to have a bunch of developmental people, then the answer is sure, you can scheme up all day long, but you getting beat is getting beat when you're on the line of scrimmage. So
yes,
I don't know what you're scheming up going under center. Like, you're just getting beat, and so you're just not able to hold. You're just not able to hold. And so I just, you can't, I mean, it just is what it is. It's a talent thing there. It's a talent thing. And so I don't feel, listen, in the reality, we have seen them make a change in literally every other position group. We've seen them make a change. And I tell people all the time, if you don't believe me, believe the Ravens reporters, because even the Ravens reporters were like gushing over Jayden Daniels and how he was just trying to make something happen behind that line. Even they were like being very objective and like, he's great, but I don't know how he's gonna make it. I don't know how this offense makes it. They're being objective. They weren't being like overly zealous about their defense. Like also, let's be clear, it's the Baltimore Ravens. So, but it would still be better. It would still be better. I think this was something that was avoidable. It didn't have to happen. And it's happening. And they got 2 weeks to fix it.
Before I tag in my tag team partner, Glenn, welcome, Glenn. I want to throw this up there because this, to me, is a radical solution, and I don't love it, but I also can see where John Hall's coming from with this, saying Connerly to left tackle, which is what he played in college, Coleman to left guard, Wiley to right tackle. To me, that's a radical solution, and I don't love it, but I can see where you're coming from, John Hall, with that.
Well, Lake did ask Coach Quinn when Laramie got hurt, was there any consideration to moving Josh Connerly Jr. to left tackle? Lake Lewis, shout out, he did ask that question, and Coach Quinn said no.
Okay. Glenn, welcome. I'll let you take the floor here if you got some questions for Candi. If you want to keep on what we've been talking about, that's great. If you want to move on to something else, one-on-one drills and team drills, that's cool.
Hey, let's say hi to Mama Waller first. Hey, Mama Waller.
Mom.
Oh, Mama Waller. Oh, gosh. We did not say hi to Mama Waller yet. What's wrong with me? What am I doing here?
Well, she just came in. Yes,
she just came in, George.
Hello, Mama Waller. Sorry about that.
Hey,
but my thing is this: the offensive line. When Larry Tunsil went down, let's be honest, that they was having problems before Larry Tunsil went down.
100%. That's right.
Can we be honest? Can we be honest there? So let's not we can't put all this on Larry Tunsil going down. even though he is the best offensive lineman that currently was the Washington Commanders. They was now. Candi also made a point today that Sam Cosby was not playing today too, so that also adds to some of the issues that this offensive line had. You're basically playing with three starters, so you have three backups in. Not saying this line is a great line. There are some things that this line can do in order to, first of all, your main objective is to keep Jayden Daniels upright, right? Second thing they have to do is this. One is to be able to run the freaking football. If you can able to run the football and keep the sticks short, right? Then there's some different things and avenues that you can do. You can't be in a situation when you have an offensive line that can't block very well. You can't be in 3rd and 10s and 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s because now you allow defenses just to pin their ears back and come get you, right? And so now Jayden is running for his life. But when you're in those downs, in those situations, or in front of the sticks where defensive coordinators have to guess what you're getting ready to do, that helps Jayden out a little bit better. Now, will there be some guys that come open in the free market, in the free agency? It should be, right? It may be some guys that come up in the free market that they might be able to plug and play with. But again, that breaks up your chemistry. This offensive line has not had chemistry all training camp. There's been no chemistry developed with this offensive line in training camp. Day one of training camp, Nick Algrady goes down. So now you've been playing with Jones as your center, right? Algrady comes back, then he goes out again. So Larry Tunsil go out, he goes out again, right? Brandon Coleman has to move from guard, move over to tackle, right? And then you have a coach who doesn't want to move the guy who played left tackle over to left tackle. And I get it, I understand it. This is where this guy played. Yeah. He's been comfortable at right tackle all last year. I want to keep him. If I move it one stable piece to the other side, now become unstable. And now him and Sam, because you got to realize him and Sam Cosby's building a cohesiveness together on the right side of the line. So I don't want to move him, which breaks up what him and Sam has built over the last couple of games. So again, it becomes a conundrum not only for Dan Quinn, but for Adam Peters, because if I'm Dan Quinn the day after today, I'm going to Adam Peters' office and knock on the door. Hey, Chief, what can we do? Right? So who do we need to move? What can we get to get some of these? Because some of these young guys are not it. We need to get our older guys back. And then again, they may not be pushing the panic button because we haven't seen the true offensive line of the Washington Commanders in joint practice. I just want to give everything's not doom and gloom, but we saying facts. We have not seen the offensive line that's supposed to start day one against anybody. Nick Algrady didn't play in joint practice against the Miami Dolphins. Didn't play in a preseason game. Haven't played in any preseason games yet. Right? So you haven't seen the full line. Larry Tunsil hasn't played in any preseason game. So again, the replacements that have to be put in place, they do need some depth on this line, because if any other piece goes down on this line, the Washington Commanders are in big trouble. Right? Yeah. In big trouble, because now they have to if you're looking if you're Dan Quinn, if you're Adam Peters, I'm looking to bring more depth in. How can I bring depth into this line? How can I get a somewhat solid center? Because nobody wants to go into unless your center is in the first round draft pick, in which our centers are not. You don't want to play a rookie the first game, not against that defense that they have to play against in Philadelphia. I don't care how bad the Philadelphia Eagles look, their defense is not the problem. Right? So the defense is not the problem. So there's a lot of answers, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered in the next couple of weeks and days with this Washington Commanders offense. Because Ken, I think you brought it out too. We saw what happened on last Saturday with Detroit. Jayden was running for his life for 3 plays, and that team went 3 and out. And I don't care. Jayden was to play a whole series, and that series was a short series because this team couldn't block. So again, there's some things they have to maneuver, and some things that people have to do and the organization have to do to prepare this team to get better. So
I saw people that might have been like, well, he only played 3 snaps. So you're trying to make a judgment on 3 snaps. And it's like, yes. I mean, because if you don't listen, I know we might be questioning a lot of things right now, but one of the things that head coach Dan Quinn said on Monday publicly in the press conference was that Saturday was in a disarray.
Yep.
I mean, does anybody
It's a hell of a thing for a coach
to
admit after your dress rehearsal preseason game.
100%, George, 100%. So if he's admitted, he said it was in a disarray. You don't believe him? It was 100% in a disarray. You know, not you all, but you get what I'm saying? It's like, we don't have to act like we're not seeing what we're seeing. We're seeing it. We've been, you know, it's just, and at some point, even I will get past this self-inflicted wound if they can do something about it before week 1. And so, and in terms of like, here's the thing. Today is what would have been the case on Saturday if it wasn't already planned for the ones, you know, to only play one series. I saw a thing in here. What did he think today was? I mean, it was just an extension of Saturday because the ones played longer. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? In Detroit, you weren't even playing against the starters. Let's be very clear. So today, you were playing against the Ravens starting defense.
And Jesse Minter's kind of on demon time, too, as a defensive coach and coordinator.
And in terms of just getting those guys ready to play like a Raven, you got Anthony Weaver over there calling those shots. And then, you know, Coach Minter, exactly right, George, is the play caller. So it's everything. I'm not saying, because these injuries are still a thing too. These injuries are absolutely still a thing. For me right now, it is what is up with these injuries, right? And the center position just needs to get fixed. That ain't even a question. It needs to get fixed. What is up with these injuries? So there's one question and there's one statement, at least as far as I'm concerned. Get this fixed and do something. I don't know. And I don't know if it's a fix.
It's going to be roster cuts is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're going to wait for people to cut
on their rosters.
So let's go to this question here. Let's ask Cliff's question. As a panel, do we believe that this can be fixed? The issue can be fixed before week 1?
I believe that they will make a move. My challenge, whether it's getting somebody from roster cuts or making a move, if you understand what I'm saying, patterns, preseason, they always make a trade, right? My only challenge with that is, what are you giving up if there is a move?
Well, I mean,
or unless you're just
I don't think
cuts. But then it becomes
I think they're waiting for roster cuts because I don't think trading for a center is viable at this point, unless it's like a 7th. Unless you're trading for somebody who lost the starting battle somewhere.
It's somebody who lost the starting battle, and at this point, the way the center market is, who's willing to do that? I might as well just give you somebody that they getting cut anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody else needs to. There needs to be a center or 2 centers or somebody, even if it's depth or whatever, here by Monday.
No, I think that's fair. As to your question, Cliff, I don't see how they can fix it by week 1. I think what David Blau and Jayden Daniels are going to have to do is try to figure out a workaround for this thing. I don't know what that is, because again, if they're struggling, because it sounded like they were struggling to run block too in this.
Yes. Now Rashad was there today. Rashad was there today. I saw somebody said I want that bell. Rashad was there today.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they fix this. I want to answer DC Slim's question, and then I want to move away from the offensive line for a second. Okay, we can maybe come back to a look.
Because they did some good things on defense,
right? And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the good things. We all know the bad thing, right? That's a glaring thing. So we talked that the bad thing was the offensive line today. But guess what? We want to talk about some of the good things they did. But DC Slim had a question here. It says this: the real question is, how long do we deal with consistent inconsistency? Right? And that's
a great query. It is a great question, Slim.
It's a great question here. Slim, I'm answering the question I answered with this, right? And we talked about this in the preseason. if it's consistent inconsistency in the way that we're gonna deal with it, it's just, right now you have to deal with Dan Quinn at least for 5 games. If it's that bad, then they go 0-5, then that part of the equation will change, right? Adam Peters situation, I don't think let's be honest. Y'all know as well as we've been watching football for a long time. The head coach goes before the GM, unless there's a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's the Adam Peters thing I saw in the chat. Somebody said, when do we get rid of Adam Peters? Guess what? The head coach goes before the GM, unless you do something like Minnesota by letting it go Super Bowl MVP go or Super Bowl champion leave, and then that's a whole different thing. But there's none of those on this football team. You deal with the consistent inconsistency is that you have to be able to fill all the roles, fill all the pieces, put everything together, and be consistent. Let's not act like all this is new, right? This is not new. We took 2024, and I hate going back to it. That was an anomaly. This football team caught lightning in a bottle, and was by the name of Jayden Daniels. This
100%.
This defense was not good.
Nope.
Right. The defense it got better in one game scenarios. Right.
Yeah, they got better in certain games, like the Panthers game, Browns, Titans.
And we got can we go back to the last 4 games of the season, right? We go back to the last 4 games. The Atlanta game, Jayden had to will a touchdown.
Yeah.
To win, right? If you go to the Tampa Bay game, we had the doink to win the football game.
Dunk to the divisional round.
Right.
Even the Saints game, they almost lost the Saints game.
Yeah, they tried to after being up 21-0.
We had to stop a 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah.
You get to the Detroit Lions game, they turned the ball over, right? And we scored. I'm not saying so. It was a little bit inconsistency there. Last year we talked about the injuries, but guess what? Even without the injuries, this team probably was going to be a bad football team.
Yes.
I don't think they would have lost. They would have only won 5, but the chances of them going back to the playoffs even were slim.
Was slim. So good. That's what we're talking about. There needs to be some changing, and also needs to be some time that's done too. But we on that, Candi. Let's get to it. What were some of the positive things? Let's think positivity here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's. The defense, like Jeremy Reeves said, they started off slow, which they did. Kane Madrano had some impressive plays early on, but they revved up, as the day went on. They were able to get some pressure. Remember, they got players out on defense, but they were able to get some plays off. But you got to remember, I mean, Lamar Jackson's like a veteran's vet at this time. So, there were some plays that were great on their end. There were some plays where it was like, okay, like the defense, is stopping the run. They're right there. The pressure piece of it is illuminating for sure. It is illuminating. And there were some instances where, a Jacoby Lane or a Tez Walker or even Lamar Jackson himself are going to make plays on them because that's just what they do. They're that good. But they held up. It wasn't like good grief. Lamar was carving them up all day. It was not that. So, Jeremy Reeves expressed some frustration in his presser because they did start off slow. And so they got better as the day went on. And the last play for both of the Commanders units was what they needed to close out the day. Mikey getting that pick, that was one moment in time. I'm glad he did because they needed that. And
timing you say that with Wole in the chat.
Right. And then the Jayden to Antonio Williams play at the end, which that was just like a hope and a prayer that just ended up being a beautiful play. And I had to laugh. I mean, we were sitting there just watching it, like we were looking at it in in real, like in slow motion. And Antonio Williams put on the skates to get that football because Jayden, he threw it up. And Antonio got it. It was beautiful. But he's all of the things that we've discussed that you don't necessarily want to see Jayden do. If they don't make changes on the offensive line, we will be seeing him do it. Because he absolutely and to Slim's point, yeah, it was a sack because the offensive line is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I've been saying. Like the things that we don't want him to run so much. You want him to do this, want him to do that. Oh, he's going to do it. Because once you're in the game mode, now you in game mode, and now you in Superman mode and all those things. So yes, there were some positive moments, and even some moments that were going to work offensively. We saw drops. We did see Antonio drop one previously. Stefon dropped one. Terry dropped one. Chig dropped one. Everybody had a drop at one point, but also everybody had a catch at one point, right? Like it was like everybody had a drop, or all the people I named had a drop. Then some of them had a catch. So these are like moments in time, but in each one of these moments in time, yeah, it's a sack because the offensive line don't hold. They don't hold 2 seconds. And so he's having to extend plays just on his own. And I know that was something they wanted to get away from. So
it's called quick game at this point. And because David Blah has to go back and create, how can we get the ball out of Jayden's hands as quick as possible? Right? When you don't have a good offensive line, you have to go into the quick game. And so now you'll see more of your swings to your backs, more of your hitches. But we getting Rashad White is going to become viable in this offense if we have to go to the quick game, right? Rashad White's guys, the running backs have to catch things out of the backfield. A little bit of misdirection will come into play as well to have the defense guessing. So if you go into that, because what can't happen, and we talked about it, is having that line on him so much. But I want to go back to something that you said.
I can answer your Luke question. Anything that was drawn up for Luke was dead because the offensive line was being honest. And to DC Slim's point, the pick, he was under distress.
That was a bad snap, wasn't it? I thought I saw
bad snap. It was a bad snap. Jayden trying to save the day. And Kyle Hamilton made a play because that's what he do.
That's true.
It is.
I love Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton is amazing.
Yeah.
So
that was the draft where they could have taken him and they instead traded back and took freaking Let's not talk about it.
Yeah. So So it's we know he's going to be programmed a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like and he's getting better about throwing the ball away, Slim, but he's still going to want to try to save it from time to time. I want to get to one other thing on the defense before I bring up another negative. Somebody mentioned me in the comment.
Real quick, George, I want to say something to Paul. And Paul, you're right.
Yes.
The East-West, it would take you East-West. This team has to be. Candi said it a few minutes ago that it didn't do well in run blocking well.
Nope.
If you don't have a running game, if you can't run the football. And I want to speak on that for a minute, Candi. How much running did they do today? And were there glimpses of holes, or were the running backs just dead to rights from the word go?
I mean, I brought up the fact that Robert Henry fumbled, and we saw him fumbled on Saturday. He fumbled again today. K-Tron was trying to do the best that he could. The offensive line was bad. It was bad. I mean, and you going up a different opponent. They were bad on Saturday against twos. So up against these starters, it was rough to watch. It was rough to watch. And the things that did go down, that like I said, there were moments when it worked, but they dropped the ball. And then there were other moments where it ended up working, but overall, it just was not good.
I want to ask about, because you
Go ahead,
mentioned the defense did fairly well today. How did the back seven look? Because we were talking about that the other night, that we were kind of worried about both the linebackers and the secondary. How did the linebackers and secondary do today?
I think they did fine. I mean, they were able to get good pressure up there. You know what I mean? Like we always say, it was good pressure. They were quick. They were fast. They definitely, Declan Doyle, the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, said yesterday, he was like, their defense plays very similar to the Vikings defense. I was like, dang, he already know. Yep, he knows. And so they were prepared. They were prepared. And there were some plays that went very well in their favor and others that didn't. And that's why you still saw, if you go online, I know Donna has it, and David Harrison has it as well. Some of the scrum with Jeremy Reeves, and Jeremy Reeves wasn't, he wasn't like they didn't have the same attitude they had after the Dolphins joint practice. Let's just put it like that.
But you know what, Candi, you said something that was key in that sentence there. The Baltimore Ravens were prepared. Let's be honest. The Baltimore Ravens takes preseason just as serious as they take the regular season.
They do.
This team prepares for preseason. I think they went to 21 wins or 22 wins until Washington beat them. It was a couple years ago. In preseason,
right.
this team hadn't lost a preseason game in years, right?
Yep.
Because they prepare and they take preseason serious. When you walk through the doors in Owens Mills, Maryland, as a Baltimore Raven, it becomes, this is your mission. We don't lose preseason football games. That culture has changed. That culture is there. So this is what the Washington Commanders have to be able to pick up. And I see the chat. Yes, if you don't have an offensive line, you really can't evaluate where people are going or how things go because the quarterback can't get the ball off. This is what Candi was talking about a couple of weeks ago in practice where we saw sacks. But again, and I told you guys, in practice, no one stops to play because they still want the back end to get work, right? So if it is a sack, Jayden's still going to throw the ball. He's still going to try to get a receiver. So now, now when you're up against the different defensive lines or you're up against different people and that clock is sped up, you make bad mistakes. That offensive line has to get better. The running game has to get better. Or the David Blau, a first-year coordinator, is going to have a rough year because he's going to have to start scheming things up week by week in order to get this football out of Jayden's hands into the hands with all these playmakers we talked about. Let's be honest. We talked about all these playmakers, but if you don't get the ball in all these playmakers' hands, I see the chat. I don't care if you JD5. I don't care if you Brett Favre. I don't care if you Dak Prescott. I don't care if you Josh Allen. If there's no offensive line and you don't have an offensive line, it's not going to happen. Ask Peyton Manning what the years Indianapolis didn't have an offensive line. What happened, right? You have to have an offensive line. Just ask Tom Brady. The years the New England Patriots offensive line was a little bit suspect. You have to have an offensive line in order to make things go. And let's be honest, it starts with the guy in the middle. It starts with the center. Yes. Your offensive line starts. People say, "Oh, it starts with the left tackle." Yeah, no, the left tackle, his job is to protect. The center has to be able to snap the ball, make calls, and do all the other things that need to play. If you don't believe me, go back to Indianapolis coach. Jeff Saturday was that dude.
Yep.
Right. Jeff Saturday was that dude that made everything go. Go back to the Philadelphia a couple years ago. Kelsey was that dude to make everything go. Right. So it starts with a center, and the Washington Commanders need one, right, in order for them to be able to get to that place. It has to be the front line. So everything on the back end, that's not even question to trade Terry, not question to trade Jayden, it's not question anything else. The Washington Commanders need to get the front line first. Those 5 dudes across the front has to be able to play together, and it starts with the one in the middle, and they have to get somebody here because if they don't, all the things we're talking about, all the things this team could be, can we be honest, the defense ain't shutting out everybody, right? This offense has to be able to put points on the board, and who we're trading, because you're not going to trade Terry. You're not gonna trade. There's some untouchables on this team. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all be honest? Can we be honest in the chat? Can we just be honest tonight? There's some untouchables. Jayden is untouchable, and Terry's untouchable, right? Those two dudes are not going anywhere. So all the trade talk we talk about in the chat and all that, that's not going to happen as much. Not this year anyway, right? That's not this year. Not why anybody's still on a rookie contract and all that. Because you can't take, if you take 5 from this team or you take 17 from this team, it's not good.
Candi, Timothy mentions it in this comment about the penalties. Could you speak on the penalties? Because I saw one of your posts was about that there were issues with penalties today.
It was on the offensive line. I mean, what we talking about? Like, it's just, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's not funny, but it is, because at one point I was just like, I can't watch this, and then I was like, I give up, and I just went up. I've given up. I can't do this, and then I can't do this. So you remember I told you all last night I was dedicating myself to Commanders offense, Ravens defense. Because that's what let me know. Because I know what this Ravens defense is, and I just know, you know what I mean? And then we got there and I found out Sam Cosmi was out. And I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this. But
I just can't believe what a time for him to get sick. I mean, because like, you got to be out there in this time of the year.
I said, stick with it. Stick with your plan. Now, I ended up at first, I was over there with the Commanders defense and Ravens offense for one-on-ones. I slipped up. I'm here, so I'll take some footage and I'll pay attention to what's going on, because while, yes, some of these one-on-ones are, I'm not going to get into it on Twitter, but yes, while some of these are for, in favor of the offense, let's be clear, Coach Jones was still talking to his people. Okay, because some of these, if you go and watch some of those, that wasn't supposed to happen. you got worked a little bit on that one. So I posted about 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't know. Some of them weren't good, but okay. As a unit, they were better. But once I got past the one-on-ones, offensive line, defensive line, and Ravens offense, Commanders defense, I jumped over. I said, I gotta go watch the team drills. And I watched as long as I could. And then I went back over to Commanders defense, Ravens offense. So I spent a good amount of time with both, but more, I mean, I had to push through though, you all, for that Commanders offense. Right? I had to push through. Because I was like, this offensive line, I mean, what is he going to do?
Yeah, real quick. We got a super chat from Ryan, 905 on site 5. Thank you. Let's answer this. Between 1 and 10, how alarmed are you about the injuries? Who is potentially a long-term injury that has not been highlighted?
Well, I think we should just probably name the ones that were discussed or that was talked about, because that's what Coach Quinn was asked about, and that was Trey Amos and Odafe Oweh. Because John Keim had asked about them, or was asking about injuries in general, but named those 2 players, and Coach Quinn kind of gave a sigh. And you should go and watch the press conference to see his facial expression. And he said those are 2 players that they're not sure currently if they will be ready for week 1.
Yeah, and that's a change on Trey Amos. But from 1 through 10, to the question again. Back to the question.
What's the question?
1 through 10. How alarmed are you about the injuries?
10.
On the decent, I'm gonna say 6 or 7. I'm gonna tell you why 6 or 7. I don't think the injuries on the defensive side of the ball is that serious. I think they're just holding those players out. Besides Trey Amos, all right. The injuries on the offensive side of the ball are more detrimental, in my opinion, than it is for defense, because defense has the better depth than, in my opinion, than the offense does. And so, who is the potential long-term injury that has not been highlighted? I think all of them have been highlighted. If you had asked somebody who's the greatest concern, I think, in my opinion, the greatest concern far as injury wise, is Nick Allegretti, and I'm gonna tell you why. We have not seen Allegretti play at center in a meaningful down or snap.
And this is why I'm saying, and I know a lot of people have that same take that you have, Glenn, that they're just keeping everybody safe. They're injured.
Yeah.
Because they've been pulling that. Use your clues. What they've been saying about Nick Allegretti, what I've been coming on this show and telling y'all. Like, he hurt.
Yeah.
What did I tell y'all about Trey? I don't know what kind of ramp up period this is. I'm not sure.
And he hurt bad, and he had a setback.
And he's hurt. Okay, back. First day in pads, back. Out. Okay, I told you all I hadn't seen Odafe yet. And I told you, and I said, okay, well, maybe this is a bubble wrap situation. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And so they're injured.
So Candi, good night, Mama Waller. Hold up real quick.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, Mama Waller. Good night.
Good night, Mama Waller.
So Candi, here's my question to you. All right. At what point do they have to list the injuries? When preseason is over, and we
regular
get into
season, week 1.
Week 1, they got to list the injury.
So they got 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
They don't have to list it until the coming in of week 1. So what is that? They play that Sunday, the 13th. They don't have to report it until that prior Wednesday.
Got you. So now they got 2 weeks for everybody to get healthy or get off that list.
Or they got right. 2 weeks to get healthy or have to report it.
Or report it. And so that's what I'm saying. We're going to, some of these guys, we may never find out what it actually was.
True.
Because they're going to try to get off this list in 2 weeks.
I mean, well, some people, like Ben Sinnott is oblique injury, right? He's not going to be there this week. He's not practicing this week. And I mean, Caleb Vaughn is a knee. Bill is growing, or he just had lower body. Okay. But I saw Bill yesterday. He was smiling. He was all right. Who else? Well, Odafe is a calf strain. Trey is his ankle. Nick Allegretti, the calf strain. Who else? Duran. What is Duran's? I should know this one. I think I might have blocked it out because it's negative. So Tim Settle is working his way back. They're injured.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, I hate to be like, did I say Ben Sinnott has an oblique injury? Did I say that already?
You did mention that, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
So, and that happened in the game. You know, Jordan McGee, he was out there today, but kind of like working in position drills and all that.
Are we going to see Jordan McGee on Friday? Do you think we see Jordan McGee on Friday?
If he's well enough, because I think he needs the right thing. Something need to happen for him. I don't know. The linebacker, that will be interesting. Because they're not going to keep 6.
I mean,
yeah.
they're facing a roster crunch on that spot.
The rosters have to be set by Sunday evening.
Sunday evening, yes.
Right. When you don't hear, so that's a very good point. When you didn't see, remember I told y'all I did see Caleb Vaughn and then I didn't see Odafe, but then the other day I didn't see Caleb Vaughn. When I said I didn't see him, I said something's not right. Something's wrong. You didn't see Duran. When I started not seeing people, I'm like, come on, man. Okay. So yeah. They inside. They don't want us to see him. So, and I mean, Dietrich Wise is going on a year out right now, and Coach Quinn still doesn't know when he's coming back. So,
oh wow, yeah.
Thank God they drafted Joshua Josephs. That is one thing I can tip my hat to AP for. That's looking like a better and better draft pick all the time, honestly.
Yeah, you can't hit on everything. I think the thing with this center situation that makes it so tough is that it wasn't a priority at that time. It wasn't a priority move that needed to be made at that time.
Right.
You created an issue. Right. It just didn't have to. It just didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen. That's all.
So, all right, let's go. What you got, George?
Oh, you know what? Been meaning to ask this because I don't think we even talked about it with the first. I think, or we might have barely talked about it. How much special teams work did they do in this joint practice? Did we get to see anything interesting there?
Yeah, it didn't go so well for the Commander special teams crew. For the kick return team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was the Baltimore Ravens, everybody. Okay.
We're always very good in special teams, except for their kicker situation.
So the special teams unit, they worked them. They worked them real good.
Ugh.
For sure. Well, one of those, 100% they did. And I was like, well, they rough. They're rough. They rough. I mean, each week you're going to get, and hey, listen, to you all's point, Glenn, you made this point about how serious the Ravens take the preseason.
Very serious.
But their starters are not playing in the game.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But today, their starters daggone near played almost all day. They were.
They're working. I mean, they had to put the work in because they know they're not playing on Saturday. So again, to your point, Candi, they treated today as not a joint practice with the Washington Commanders. They treated today as a game against the Washington Commanders.
Oh, it was a game day.
And it's all about mindset. And I think that's where the Washington Commanders sometimes slack at. Is the mindset of the athlete, the mindset of the people. Not that you got to be the rah person, just kumbaya, but they just need to know we're going into battle. We're going into battle with or without you. We're going into battle whether up or down. We're still going to go to battle and fulfill our commitment. I think that's where this team loses some things at. Where guys are going to finish their commitment to this team, to this organization, go play the freaking game.
Yeah,
go knock somebody out.
Right. And I want to encourage Commanders fans. I've shared plenty of positive things that have happened today. That's why, and I started the show off with saying I would hate for the offensive line issues to mask all that has gone right. This team has made changes for the better. They have done things well. Okay. They got people that are injured, like on defense. They were able to get. I said this earlier. They were able to get pressure on Lamar. They were out 100%, and he was able to still make some things happen. But they did get some pressure, even with people out. Now they need those injured players on the interior defensive line. They need them back. They need them back for sure. So your Deron Paynes, your Tim Settles, they need them people healthy. For sure. But overall, they were still able to make some things go. And in terms of special teams, we're not talking about like field goal kicking. We're talking about like the kickoff. When I say kickoff, I mean like the kickoff team.
Yes.
Return teams. That's what I mean when George was asking me about special teams. So with what they had out there, they still did well as the day went on. Again, if you don't believe me, go listen to the Jeremy Reeves scrums. As the day went on, the offensive line was not good all day. All day. It was bad all day. And that's not good because I was like, the things that did go well and the things that have improved. And the challenge here is, for me, I'm like, this is a talent thing. You need to get the right talent here. This isn't a scheme thing. It doesn't because I believe in what the coordinators can do. And offensive coordinator David Blau, we're seeing what Coach Jones can do. And I think Antonio Williams is a gamer. So you see him do well in one-on-ones. Again, multiple receivers and tight ends had drops, but they also was able to catch the ball. But that offensive line is not good. So I don't know what else to say other than that. That is your sticking point, and that is the worst thing that happened today. But that offensive line kind of dictates how the rest of your offense goes. As the world saw on Saturday, and people saw today. And so, it's exactly right. It's not David Blau's fault the O-line is bad. He doesn't go out and get the talent.
No, he doesn't go get out the talent, but as an offensive coordinator, there comes to a point in time where you know what your soft spots are, you know your weakness in your offense, and so you can make requests, you can make suggestions. Let's not say that we all know that Cliff Kingsbury last year, under the same head coach, made suggestions, and that's why we have the right tackle that we have right now, right? So you can make suggestions on this. Right, that's what we wanted. So now you can make a suggestions. David Blau can make suggestions on what he's looking for, and then Adam Peters and Dan Quinn got to make this decision, veto yes or no. So we'll see who is that. We got Wole in the building, man. Let's go ahead and pop him in and see his thoughts on today's festivity with the Washington Commanders.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing?
Hey.
What's up? How's everybody? No, I'm here. I'm here to listen. I'm here with you guys. I don't have no inside connect. I have no inside. I wasn't there. I'm listening to Candi. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to all what Candi had to say. She was in the trenches. She was there. I just wanted to. Hey, y'all. I saw some of y'all in the chat, man. Y'all talking about Trey and Terry and freaking Jayden is nasty work. I need to stop. That's nasty. When you said it at first, I was like,
all these complaints about Jayden are nasty work. Like, like it's just not even like. I'm gonna start thinking like, if you complain about Jayden, you might be an undercover Dallas fan.
I love y'all though, bro. I love y'all. But I'm saying some of y'all
love everybody. Yeah, we love everybody, but this ain't on Jayden.
Nah, man, we ain't doing that though.
We ain't doing that. Like Jayden, this ain't on Jayden.
And I'll be the first. I'll be the first to say if Jay can go out there and throw about 15 interceptions, and this season, I'll be the first to say, you know what, something's going on with him, right? But this is preseason, and we all know what the issue is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what the issue is, and it's not Jayden.
I'm just not like I ain't gonna lie.
Not right now. Like if the offensive line didn't have these issues, talent wise,
man.
And he's making mistakes, that's different. But not with this. Come on, that's kind of showing your football IQ there.
But I will say, I mean, I'm not into. I get why everybody's in panic. Well, like at the thumbnail said, panic mode with the O-line. But just give me to week one, because I've seen situations in terms of all the football where I haven't been happy with some of the starters in preseason. Then all of a sudden, it's a turn up in the regular season, and it just looks different. We'll see, man. Like it's not. I know it ain't great, but it ain't. I don't know if it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a point where. We'll get to know week one, because I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna go back to 2012. I remember I wasn't ecstatic with 2012's preseason. I do remember like that, like it was okay. I wasn't ecstatic about 2012's preseason, and then all of a sudden, week one against the Saints, I was like, "Where did this come from? Like, what the hell?" So I just think like, there are players and situations like the center position obviously is an issue. I think we all know that. We all can all agree with that. But let's just see how it all plays out once they finalize who's going to play center. Again, like with all the negative stuff I've said about Nick Allegretti and whatever, but we'll see. So maybe they're right about him. So obviously there's a trickle down effect with like Laramie being hurt and whatnot. And then too, like I think Paul said it in the chat, Cosme ain't played, so that's a trickle down effect in terms of how dominant the Ravens. So it's just so it's like I get why people are like concerned, but I'm like, we didn't even get to see what we're going to see in week one. So I mean, I'm cool. I think
unfortunately, if they don't do anything today, we're probably going to see him.
But I'm saying Cosme though, like we didn't see Cosme. He can't be as bad today without Cosme.
Well, that's if he really is just sick.
Okay, I got you.
You feel what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying? And so that's the challenge. Now to go back to Jay, like nobody on the team is perfect. The defense ain't perfect. The offense ain't perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But what did I say earlier? If people are listening, with this offensive line, we will start seeing Jayden do things that we know that we don't want to see them do.
Yeah.
I'm just for me, before I like
how you gonna see DC Slim? Does he drink Hennessy? Because people like does he drink cup waters? Like the Mai Tai joints, the Long Island,
not the cup waters,
because how else you gonna see anything until week 1?
I just feel like
you gonna watch the preseason game on Friday, and then you ain't gonna see nothing else. Ain't nobody gonna see nothing until week 1.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I'm just at. That's where I'm at. I just want to see. Like, I'm gonna give them a reason. I'm gonna give them all faith until I see it in week 1. Cause I'm all about. I'm only going off of what they're gonna show me in real games, like right now. Because and I know for me, I'm speaking for me. I guess for anybody else. For me, I've had points where I'll be like, damn, y'all look good in preseason, and this squad look horrible in the regular season. So where I'm at now is show me week 1, and then if it's horrible in week 1, then I have something that I have a baseline with, for them as a whole when they're strategizing against the opposition. Like, they're going to strategize against the Eagles. They're going to really strategize against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I'm scared. Don't get it twisted. Like, I would be scared of Eagles D tackles if everybody was healthy. So I ain't going to hold you. Like,
100%.
I would be concerned if they were going when Allegretti, Cosme, and Paul or whoever they had, Paul, Combe, whatever folks are their ideal situation is for this offensive line. Even with Laramie out there, I would. It was going to
be hard anyway. Regardless, that's right. Even if they had a healthy Nick Allegretti, let's say, a healthy Nick Allegretti, a healthy Laramie, a healthy Cosme,
it would be a challenge.
It was going to be some tough bump.
Yeah, facts.
Come week 1.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Hey, John, you funny,
and so man. I think everybody just probably needs to temper their expectations. While I think that this is what's going to happen, what I want to believe is like they're going to make a move. My only thing with making the move is what you're going to have to give up for said move. Because at this point in time, too close to the regular season, you ain't just going to get somebody for the low. A good center. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a starting center is what I'm saying. You're still going to probably end up with serviceable backups at this point.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think you're going to get, because nobody's going to give up. Let me be real. No one.
They're not giving up their starting center.
Yeah,
it's like a commodity. Right?
Yeah, and no one's giving out a starting center. You're going to get a backup center. Like, do you feel like that backup is better than your starters? That's the question. That's the only question that is he better than your starters? But you're not going to get somebody. You're going to have somebody. You're going to get somebody you're still going to have questions about. That is my thing about where they're at. No one gives up a star level center via trade because you're going to need your center.
You need your
center. A center isn't important. Like, that's the thing. A center is important. So you're not going to give up. Important. You know what I'm saying? Texas looking. Second center be looking over. Yeah, I'm just saying you're going to need it. Like, so a center is important. Like you're saying it here, Candi. You're saying it too, Glenn. Like, that quarterback center relationship is real. Like a center.
Real.
So you're talking about getting a high level center. Like, that's what fans want. You're not going to get that in a trade. I'm just going to be real with you. Like, you're not going to get that in a trade.
I totally agree. But I was like, didn't we talk about this on the show where it was like, you know what is it in terms of like Tyler Biotish not being here?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
They were in a whole commercial together. Like, Jayden wanted him in the Campbell soup commercial with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no.
But yeah, I mean, I get why people are panicking. I mean, I saw some things for me, in the joint, from what I heard, and Candi, you were there. Like, for me, yeah, I heard. I mean, obviously, if you like go from what the reports are and whatnot, which I wasn't there, so I don't really go for all the reports. But I do trust your reporting and whatnot. Like, it sounds like, the Ravens had the better day overall, I guess. I mean, that's how it sounds.
100%. They had the better day overall.
But I feel like
the only main sticking point and like you need to do something about this Commanders leadership, it was the center.
Yeah.
Everything else you can get better at, right?
Yeah.
The center, that's a talent. Yeah. That's talent related.
And I think that from listening, I felt like the defense did a good job. From what I heard, I thought
because they can get better. Was it perfect? No,
but I thought like
stretching the beans, but they can get better. So it's like, all
but
right.
then you're going against. This is the thing. Like for me, like when I assess what the defense did, and this is what it like. You're going against a multi-level, like a multi-time MVP. You made him struggle. He threw interceptions. He wasn't perfect out there. If you listen to the Baltimore, the Baltimore reporters, they would say Lamar didn't look great out there. So I look at it like, okay, Washington did it. Like they did good. They did great against an MVP level quarterback. That to me, I'm like, your defense is solid. Like that's to me, that's good. Like there is if they were looking mediocre against, no disrespect, but yeah, like to like a Jalen Hurts. Like Jalen Hurts.
If they would have looked all mediocre against the Dolphins, then
then be it whatever.
But you have to consider the opponent.
The opponent, exactly. So I look at it like, shoot, and you're missing you missing Chason, you missing like your valuable dudes that you were relying on. Did Payne play?
No,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you're missing all these individuals, and you still are able to make them struggle on like that. When I see that, I'm like, yo, y'all had a good day.
They made some things come on, but I was like, they did not like make it any easier by any stretch of the means. But Lamar Jackson is a 9-year vet, and he's a two-time MVP. So I mean, what you talking about? You can make it hard all day, and he's gonna be. But hey, his own defense been giving him all.
Exactly.
All summer long. But they also said that it's typical for the defense to be ahead of the offense. But I mean, and so like,
so when I hear,
but when you hear the Baltimore, to your point, Wole, like I was saying, when you hear the Baltimore reporters saying. Jayden is in distress over there.
They said that too. They said that's facts.
They said he's in distress because of this offensive line.
Facts.
They were all saying it, and they were being completely objective. They were. I mean, this is for practice anyway.
Yeah.
But now here I am about to say something that I'm gonna say. But what do I always? If I saw it a problem in preseason, I don't want to see it in September.
Facts. I agree with you. Totally agree with you. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I agree. I'm just talking about like the offense is the offense. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, what I hear is consistent. It's consistent. It's consistent. But like
and
the
everybody
defense,
saw it, right? People who have gone to practices, people who have watched the games.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean,
it's been kind of consistent. It's been consistent. It's been very consistent. To your point, I totally agree with that. But like when I hear about the defense, I'm like, I'm geek for the defense. I ain't gonna lie to you because I was expecting my expectations when the bodies that I was hearing that weren't going to play, and it's still here that the Ravens were struggling with their offense. I was like, shoot. We good, like defensively, we good.
Made some moves. I mean, in some things, Lamar Jackson's gonna do Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but you got to take that.
Was like, okay. I mean, like I said earlier, he did end up throwing a pick to close the game out. I mean, the practice out. When they was out, he threw a pick.
Yeah,
but that pick was derived from the pressure of the people who were there. Now, I definitely think Deron Payne, Tim Settle, you need them.
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
100%, you need them. But it's like. Things were moving so fast at one point in time because Jayden was trying to just get the ball out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I mean, the Commanders scored today.
Yeah.
The Ravens scored today. Like they were both scoring, but they were both in distress. You just saw Jayden in more distress. That's
what I'm saying. I agree with you.
Lamar.
Than Jamar. Exactly.
And because they got a whole different situation on their offensive line. Yes, they're dealing with backup centers, but they got actual centers.
That they got good competition. They got legit decent competition at center. No, to your point.
Ethan Posick was Joe Flacco's center. Like you know what I mean? These are people with actual center experience.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I mean? And Javon Gwynn is all right too. But you get what I'm saying. It's people that actually played the position,
right?
Play, and all of that. And that's what I'm saying. This is on leadership. Yeah. This is on leadership. What has happened with this offensive line situation?
Facts.
And it was, everybody each side had good moments and bad moments. Mm-hmm. That starting defense on Ravens side, I mean, they were going to have, even with everybody healthy, the Commanders' offense was going to have problems today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
They won't have problems today.
Well, the Ravens, I said that, like, and you covered them too. It's like the Ravens defense is a good defense. Jesse Minter is one of the better defensive minds in football. So I respect that. But I do want to give Durante, and somebody said Durante like that. That's why I want to give Durante love, because I want that. I don't want that to be forgotten. Like, think about the bodies that were missed on the defensive side of football, and individuals that Candi even said, like, yo, without these dudes, this defense is gonna be. They need like a Owe. They need a Chase on, but they're still. And they will need them. This is not discredited. They will need them, but to still make that unit, that offense work. You know what I'm saying? And granted, they were missing Zay Flowers, so they were missing some people.
Yes, they had some people out there out too. Yo, if I could tell y'all how many times I saw Matt Gublin or Julian Good-Jones on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
on the ground. Like on the ground.
Yeah.
Like
was Mata BK? Is he playing?
He didn't play. But I'm just saying, like, because by the time, it was wild. It was wild how much offensive line. They was like, and I'm not sure what DC Slim was watching. Because I don't even know what players they got. He's talking about
what's that? He talking about this. What are you talking about? You talking about this practice? You talking about the practice? You talking about the joint practice?
I don't know. He said at the end of the game they got pumped. The players said at the end of the game.
Nah, he just don't worry. Keep going.
That's wild. But I also want to say,
keep going.
The triggering of the coaches in the front office. Let's be clear. They're always trying you all. They're always on the phone. That's not. This stuff is not coming through. I don't know why it's not coming through or what's going on, but the clock is ticking, and now it's a known thing, because then it would be considered like a malpractice or
negligence.
Or negligence. It will be.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think.
Yeah, players said they was pissed because they was getting mollywopped. You should have listened to the whole thing. They was definitely getting smoked.
Which player? Who was
Brandon Coleman was upset.
Coleman was the one I saw. Yeah,
he was
pissed. He was getting destroyed. Coleman was getting beat.
Oh yeah, Trey Hendrickson must have remembered that Monday Night Football game.
He's working. I mean, again, you get you going against Trey Hendrickson. I mean, I look at it. I mean, personally, I'm like, you're supposed. I'm not. I don't know. I think of Brandon Coleman at this point is elite, right? I think he's solid. He's good. Trey Henderson does that to a lot of people. I think we gotta that's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta act like who they playing against. Yeah. Who they playing against.
That's what people need to understand. Like, this is y'all. They look like they in season. They look like they in mid-season form. And this is a unit who's mostly all played together, with the exception of like a Trey Hendrickson or something like that. But people who saw Brandon Coleman, he was upset, and he talked about himself. And he also talked about, here's the thing. If you're not, the O-line is bad.
Yeah. As a unit right now, that's trash. Yeah. As a unit, it's trash. But I still, I'm that's why I want to, I want to make sure folks are, it's bad. We know it. Like, we know the O-line's bad. Like, that's not play it off. Like,
no,
it's a big disservice. They did certain pieces of big disservice. Like, I don't want to be redundant with it. Like, we know how they treated the center position. Like, we already know, right? And
they did.
And Laramie being hurt messed everything up. You didn't expect no one expect Laramie to be out for the whole year, but the majority of the year.
Nobody expected, right? All the injuries offensive line do not.
So I just want, that's already known, and we're not I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta go ahead and walk into the season. To Candi's point, hopefully they pick up somebody in the within the cut situation with teams, cut players or whatever, because that's where I think they're gonna find their center. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how they're gonna find their center. It's gonna be a center that is cut. It won't be via trade. Like, I know people it won't be via trade. If it's a trade, it'll probably be a 7th round pick, and still won't be a starter quality type of player. It'll be a player that may be a journeyman, or a guy who started years ago, but he's not a starter anymore. So that's your best case in that situation. Won't even lie to you.
Candi, real quick. Slim said, who else besides the offensive line? Did we have anybody else besides the offensive line, or that you could evaluate that played poorly? Any concerns? I know we talked about Henry
that I could evaluate fairly.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Like, Henry dropping the football had nothing to do with O-line, right?
Yeah. Robert Henry Jr. fumbled.
It's over for Henry Jr.
It's over.
He's on the practice squad. Like that's
and he had such a good preseason game 1, and I said that earlier.
Yeah.
So people need to pay attention in the chat. Make your notes.
Was it anybody else?
I tweeted that too, and I also said the receivers, the things that were able to work, the receivers dropped the football. Everybody had a drop.
Yeah,
everybody
she
had
said that right off.
I said it off the bat.
We were talking about it earlier.
They had drops and they had catches.
That's
my man.
That's focused.
Not my Luke. That's not my man Luke though. My man Luke killed him.
He didn't really get no burn today.
Man, Luke had a touchdown. Can you tell him Luke had a touchdown? Luke had a touchdown. Look at it. He took it to the house. To the house call.
You know what, y'all? I know y'all love DC Slim, but I'm starting to think he don't like Jayden.
No. Jayden likes Jayden. Jayden likes Jayden.
He wants to see the team better.
He likes Jayden. I do. Slim does like Jayden.
Yeah,
he don't like. I'm gonna tell you somebody else don't like Jayden though, but he
I'm
like
gonna use my clues and say he's so negative on Jayden.
He
wants Jayden to get hurt.
No,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Y'all drinking the Kool-Aid. Use your clues. Use your clues. Every time I come on here, he's negative about Jayden.
Nah, you missed the nights the Dan Quinn nights. But anyway.
Oh no, Dan Quinn and Jayden.
Nah. Hey,
Dan Quinn and Jayden.
But the thing is too, you can't have anybody looking good when you don't have people blocking. But we move on from that. Anybody else that stood out today, and then in spite of the adversity, how did the coaches handle? That's what I want to know. How did the coaches handle? Like how did David Blau handle the
They're gonna be mild mannered. I mean, they can't show too much.
But could you see the frustration?
I saw frustration with the offensive line coaches.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see frustration with the coordinators, but I've seen frustration with the offensive line coaches for about a week or two now.
Okay, and then on the Devontae Jones situation, moments where he smiled.
Well, no, he's gonna check his team. I mean, none of them are smiling. They never smile.
Got you.
They don't smile.
Got it.
You know, they're not out there like, nah. They're not them kind of guys.
So today was the last official day of training camp.
Well, today's last day.
Mm-hmm.
Last day. We'll go back to the real world. On Friday, Candy, real quick before we get ready to get out of here, what do we expect to see on Friday? The Washington Commanders taking on the Baltimore Ravens. What do we expect to see? And then after that, give everybody your socials where they can hit you up. And so we know what today was. So,
I mean, it's preseason game 3 is 4 people trying to make the team.
Who's the 4? Who the 4?
Who is
you said 4? You said 4. You said 4 people trying to make the team. Who are the 4?
I mean, it's 4 people trying to make. For the people trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I thought you had like 4 in mind. Like you knew, like trying to make it. I'm about to say.
I mean, I think the starting offensive line should.
I think they should play. Don't you, Candy? I think they all should play.
Starting offensive line.
I think they all should play. I kind of really think so. I think they need to get some confidence going into the season. They need to get some confidence going into the season. They need to play. I agree with you, Candy. I totally agree.
They need to play.
Yeah, they need to play.
And Paul, I'm with you on this. I want to see a lot more Errrything Kaliak-Manis than I do Deadgum Sam Hartman on Friday. I want to say that.
We all do.
You're such a Stan Hartman hater, George. Why do you hate him so much? Why? Why do you hate Special K so much? Why do you hate Special K so much? Why?
I don't hate Special K. I want to see more.
I mean, sorry. I mean, it's not Special K. I mean, Hart. Why do you hate Hart so much? Why do you hate the model so much? Why do you hate the model so much?
Enough.
Why? Well,
it's enough.
He can't grab every throw. Why you gotta break down every throw? Why? What did he do to you? Like why? Why, George?
Did nothing. He did nothing to me except last year watching him was like.
Why? George?
Gave me the sour.
Look, man, I want Sam Hartman to have a great last game, a great last game, so he can play for somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I want to see more Errrything Kaliak-Manis because he's going to make this roster.
What happened? Special K.
We can actually develop him into a backup.
What happened, George? What happened? Special K throws like 3 interceptions. Would that change your mind?
No, probably not.
No, why? You did.
Why? They'd have to be really bad.
What happens if he throws like if he?
The Ravens haven't played their starters all preseason.
No, they won't. They haven't all preseason.
They
won't play for their starters.
They don't play in the preseason.
They never played. They never played the preseason.
Never play their starters.
Oh, okay. I thought they at least did in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Because wait a minute, I thought Lamar
Hey,
got
shut
in
up.
there during game 2 last week.
Oh, they in
wow,
street
okay.
clothes. Street
Nah,
clothes.
Lamar doesn't know. They don't play.
No way.
Lamar he never played preseason like that.
Never.
Lamar don't play. The starters pick. I mean, from the Harbaugh
Street
regime,
clothes.
I'm like, so I guess like Jesse Minter doing the same thing, like the same type of thing. Because they don't play preseason.
They don't play preseason.
I think the young dudes play though. The young dudes play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the young dudes gotta get experience.
Yeah, but they don't never play them.
Because Vega played yesterday. Vega played last
right,
game, right?
Right. And then after they score or whatever, then they take them out.
Yeah, I know Mike Green plays in some ball too. Mike Green plays some ball.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all.
Ain't none of them starts playing.
Yeah, man.
Nope. Hey, so Candi, tell everybody where they can find you throughout the season.
Thank you, Candi.
The fastest way. And you all are welcome. This has been a real jam.
It's been a ride.
Oh yeah, man.
It's been a ride, you all. This has been a ride.
It's been tiresome. I know, child. I know it's been tiresome for you, child. I know, child. I know.
Today I was running back and forth between
to get out there.
And somebody was like, "You are really working hard today." I'm like, because I need to
been working
know.
hard every day in camp.
Yeah, Candi, you've been give Candi her flowers, y'all. Give Candi her flowers, dog.
Yeah.
Well, he would be mad when I tell the truth. I'd be like, "Well, what do y'all want me to do?" They'd be like, "Candi didn't say nothing about this." Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. So on Twitter, at @CBallSE is the fastest way to get to me and see my content. Make sure you all are subscribed to Bowie TV.
Love it. On
YouTube and on X. Make sure you're following there. Bowie TV Sports on X and Instagram, and then Bowie TV again on Facebook. We are on TV in Prince George's County, Maryland, Comcast channels 190 and 1097. And so I love doing this. I love even engaging with you all. I mean, it's part of what I do. I just love the whole process of it. Oftentimes I be wishing I had better news, like, but that's just the way it goes.
I do have one question. Once we get beyond Friday night, is it going to be sort of like weekly press conferences like during the regular season?
It'll be like the regular season.
Okay.
Well, okay. So what I do know is AP and DQ press conference supposed to be Monday afternoon, like the roster cut conversation. And then it's supposed to be practice Tuesday, Wednesday. And that's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, John, man, I did big work, man. John, I was hooping crazy today, man. I won like 4 or 5 games today. I killed, bro. And now I'm exhausted. I won a bunch of games, bro. I won too many games, actually.
Hey, Candi, we just want to say thank you for the grind. We did 16 days or every day of training camp. And we not only Candi, we want to thank Candi, thank Wole, thank George, thank you, the chat. Some of you guys been with us every day while we was chat on the grind.
So the chat was hot tonight.
Guess what? We ain't done grinding because we still got preseason, y'all. We still got the preseason games.
We got pregame.
Pregame. Make sure you join us.
I'll be here Friday. I'll be here with y'all Friday.
Yeah,
make sure
you will.
Post game on Friday. Hey, if you want to support us and support Candi as well, do me a favor, man. Go to that All Burgundy Gold store. Check out the tee. You see, use your clues. Go ahead and cop one of those. We'll drop the link in the chat comments. So we want to appreciate each one of y'all for joining, rocking with us, man. Stay here, stay locked, stay loaded, and let's keep supporting the Commanders. Everything ain't negative, and everything ain't a panic button.
Everything isn't negative,
and everything is not a panic button. Some things need to be fixed, and we'll see if the Washington Commanders can fix the line by week 1. Wole, man, take us home, brother.
Hey, cool. Hey, Todd said he blocked. He got blocked.
I ain't block you, Taj.
You ain't blocked, Todd. Everybody be thinking y'all be blocked. Y'all don't get blocked. We don't hate y'all like that.
Yeah.
You ain't ignorant. And Slim, you ain't blocked either. I don't know why you left, bro. Don't worry. I could block you, but I would never block you, Slim. You good, bro.
Nah, Slim, I do.
But yeah, man, appreciate everybody for pulling up. You guys are dope. Glenn said it, man. And I guess I have to reiterate it because I will reiterate it. You guys are dope. And you guys make the show what it is. And without y'all, this show would be nothing. So we appreciate y'all. I like the jokes too, man. You know what I'm saying? Come down. Hey, Ellison, come down and get some. Hey, we're in VA, bro. I'm always looking, but they gotta be older like me. I'm 45, so they gotta be older.
We're in VA, man.
Yeah, we're in VA.
Young ringers.
I don't play with teenagers. Like I coach them, I don't play them. You're digging them because I ain't pulling no hammy either. Like I'm strapped up like an old man. that don't sound good. Pause. But I'm like, I got my knees like pause. That don't sound good either. But y'all know what I mean. I got knee braces and stuff, so I'm letting y'all know I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Woodbridge. Okay, I mean, hey, what? Look, man, I can make a tour. I could do the tour. All right, the old man tour hooping. We can make it happen, Captain. Let's go.
Hey,
yeah, I know where I had to pause that, bro. I know where I had to pause it. Yeah, that was not right. That joint was wild. I was wilding on that one, bro. I was wilding. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. You guys are dope. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. For ages, deuces. We are out.
Peace.